anyways, so go ahead and okay. Hello, everybody. Um, my name is Dr. Lynette Valentine, and we also have Miss Emily Chafin here. And we have over the about a year, we've done a stress management workshop. So this is our workshop. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. And then also, if you've attended before or attending this time, don't hesitate to join us again. Even though it's the same content, we it's just a reminder for us to make sure we're in check with our stress and also managing it. So let's see, does it okay. So what we're going to cover in our workshop is the science of stress, and yes, there is a science behind this. And then some of the contributions, and then some stress management skills or things that you can do to help manage it. And when we're done tonight, you're going to feel all nice, warm, and relaxed. So, what triggers stress? All right, Michaela and Jessica, you're on since you guys are the two. What triggers stress?
Moving states.
Yep.
Just life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
School, work.
school, work, and it may not even be something that you even realize is contributing. Just driving down the street, you may think it's not even bothering you, and it actually is, or at least causing stress. Because who wants to get stuck at every red light, right?
No.
So yeah, so even new jobs, even though you're excited, or even starting school, as exciting as it is, can change or contribute to some of that stress. And we'll talk about like some of that. So what happens when we are stressed? This is us running from the, I call it running from the bear. What happens when we're stressed?
Heart beats fast.
Our heart rate increases. What else?
I get really sweaty.
Yeah. And breathing. So although this, and if you ever have my class, you'll know, because we talk about the sympathetic, and I call it running from the bear. And most of the time in our books it's the flight or flight, but I like to actually put something in comparison. And so we're like, it causes this amped up feeling in our bodies, where when we're in our parasympathetic, it causes it is more of a rest and digest. Now really, when you think about this, it's a check and balance that we do normally, because we're going to have those amped up moments even when it's good things. But when it's amped up for too long, then it can cause some problems with uh symptoms and just effects on our body. So with the sympathetic, that's that fight or flight. And we get that release of adrenaline and the cortisol. And we also get release of sugar for energy. And this is what allows us to keep going during those sympathetic phases. And parasympathetic, our rest and digest. This is where we restore energy. This is where we get to allow for proper digestion, and even hormone production and secretion is usually in the parasympathetic. So short term check and balance, that's good. We have that back and forth, but it's when it's long term that it can cause some effects. So is all stress bad?
No, but it feels like it.
So, our brain actually doesn't know the difference between actually being stressed out and having one of those amped up moments, like being on a roller coaster or something like that. And so 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 we will respond similar, even though as far as physiologically, whether it's because extremely stressed out or that we're just riding a roller coaster. So our brain doesn't know the difference. So some of this, so I'm going to go through like some of the symptoms, and then we'll talk about things that can we can do to help out. So, and some more science stuff behind it. So short and long term effects with some of our systems when we're talking about stress. So the first thing is our musculoskeletal. So short term, we get that contraction, and then relaxation. Well, that's normal. We might get it a little quicker under like real short term stresses. Long term, we're going to see that it causes tension, headaches, body aches, things like that. Respiratory, when we short term, we'll see that breathing harder. Maybe someone might go in a little bit more hyperventilation. We might see some panic attacks there. Long term, these effects can be harder on our breathing. And we'll even see, conditions, asthma and emphysema. That's obviously stresses due to hypersensitivities and smoking, but we can see that even, breathing can be affected just by having stress. With cardiovascular, short term, we're going to increase muscle. Or increase blood flow. That's good because we want that blood flow increase, especially if we're going to run from that bear. Long term, though, it can contribute to hypertension, and then increase us for risks of myocardial infarction and strokes. And just because we're all, you guys are studying nursing and medical, we don't want to ignore hypertension. It actually does lead to potentially worse cardiovascular diseases or damage to our body. So we do not ignore hypertension. So you can see just as simple as hypertension can cause a lot of stress on the body. With our endocrine system, short term, it releases that adrenaline, our cortisol. We have that super extra energy for fight and flight. And occasionally you'll hear a story where that mom, where their child was in danger and they were able to like lift something that was heavier than they ever done before just to save their child's life. So we know that this actually gives that really strong rush of energy, or that you can get through something that you weren't sure you're going to get to. But over long term, it contributes to thyroid issues, diabetes, because stress can actually contribute to diabetes as well. Contributes to abdominal fat and even other hormone dysfunctions. And we see this, people who are working all the time, not taking care of themselves, tend to gain weight in their abdominal area. And a lot of that has to do with this imbalance, especially with the cortisol. We'll talk about that. Gastrointestinal system, we short term will see butterflies. We might even get like that quick pain or nausea and vomiting in, with our stomach. Can even get constipation or diarrhea, depending on who you are. And even heartburn can be something short term. But long term, it turns into more of chronic pain, acid reflux issues, or even and advanced us into some of these gastro diseases or IBDs. Just FYI on this, nothing to do with our stress management, but we see an increase of acid reflux in females at menopause because we reduce of the reduction of the estrogen. So there's a lot of things that happen in women due to reduction in estrogen production. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So why do we crave salt and sugar when we're stressed? Don't you guys crave salt and sugar when you're stressed? I do. It's the salt, it's the sugar, and then the salty, sometimes the salty, then the sugar, right?
Sometimes I do, but usually when I'm like super stressed, like I don't want anything.
That's good. But anyways, there's a lot of people that will crave that salty and sugary sensation. So I'm going to actually go through and explain that I actually was a chocoholic when I was a student. I didn't eat a lot of it, just like you said, a lot of times you didn't want it. But every once in a while I would want chocolate. And so I would keep a stash of chocolate so I could have, a bite or two when I was studying. So some of the things that we see, we get that increase in cortisol, which is our a hormone that's released from our adrenals. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of this chart, but just so you know, we get an increase release of that cortisol when we're at higher stress levels. So here's the sugar versus the salt. When we eat sugar, it gives us a feeling, a happy feeling or a sensation like we're falling in love because it releases that serotonin, which helps us or relaxes us. And so when we get increased cortisol, we actually crave that sugar because we also crave that release of serotonin. When we when when we get high levels of cortisol, then we also crave salt because we're trying to decrease the levels of cortisol. So this is where we get that more saltier need or craving. So it's just trying to do that check and balance. So in extreme cases, um, this can also cause adrenal fatigue. Don't worry, you're not there. But if you do see that you're craving more salt, it's an indication that your adrenals are getting tired, not fatigued. And I did, and personally saying that, I will see when there's certain times when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm more stressed out than I realized because I'm like, here's the salty stuff. Um, and one of my favorite salty snacks, you guys are gonna like, oh, is French fries with sugar with ketchup with extra salt in it because you can just dump packets of salt. Oh my gosh, that's like the best. I do stay away from that because I recognize, but you will see that salt is craved with that. Um, so those are the reasons why you'll see that salt versus sugar. So if you're not having those, that's really good. Then your body's really keeping in check and balance with that stuff. Okay. So why do we care about all the serotonin? Well, it actually can cause, with low levels, it can cause poor memory and depression. And then we also see that sweet and carb cravings. It can contribute to anxiety and even aggression as well, and even sleep issues. So there is some science behind trying to find a good balance. So what does serotonin do really help for or help contribute for us? Mood regulation. It helps us with sleep regulation, even our memory, and then appetite and digestion, and even sexual function, and social behaviors can be part of that too. So, what does all your stress eating do for you? Well, uh, drinking, it causes us to drink more caffeine. I'm guilty of that right now. Um, it can cause us to eat the wrong foods. So salty, fatty, salty, and sweets. It makes us more likely to emotionally eat. Stress eating, emotion eating right here. Skipping meals and then then having a crash diet or crash eating. And then of course we're drinking too much caffeine, so we're not drinking enough water. We're more likely to eat fast food. And so in general, we're just not taking care of ourselves. And poor nutrition can contribute to poor immune systems as well. So what do we do about this? Well, we definitely add more fruits and vegetables to our diet. I know that we've got, it's stuff we know, but we have to be reminded about sometimes. I love my vegetables, but sometimes I'm like, did I eat enough vegetables today? So eating a lot of your greens is going to increase your folic acid, help with your B vitamins, which we deplete this. Those are water soluble vitamins, and we deplete this. And when we're stressed out, we're more likely to deplete B vitamins and things like that. So eating fruits and vegetables can actually give us better blood sugar control. And so you can see where this stress could lead to diabetes if we're not taking care of that. And then, of course, a lot of antioxidants, which help lower those stress. Um, uh, what do we say? Those stress assaults to our body. So we also need to get in good fats. So that means, our omegas, which we can find in nuts, our fish, even we can, some of our seeds. And then avocados are really good fat because those fats will help cure your craving for those carbs. So they actually can help balance appetite as well. Other things to consider is making sure that you get a good healthy breakfast. It helps stabilize that blood sugar and gets a good balance. And then keeping around healthy snacks. So protein bars, if you're into that. I've not found a protein bar that I completely love, but I will eat those when need be. But even veggie sticks, seeds, nuts, things like that. And packing your lunch can actually save you money, but also allow you to choose what you're eating. So it helps with that. Uh, and then just getting some of those bad things out of your house. I just admitted that I used to keep a stash of chocolate around, only a small amount. So, but those are things that if you have a lot of, you might want to consider putting them in elsewhere, right? Or hiding them even more so. Avoiding caffeine after 2 p.m. It takes about 6 hours. Caffeine has a half-life. So if you think about how late that puts you, it's going to affect your sleep too. So drinking caffeine at night can also affect, proper bedtime and sleep as well. And, stress also contributes to not getting to sleep in time or sleeping properly. And then finding maybe all other alternatives to your caffeine. So if you're drinking a lot of coffee or soda, you might want to try to find like green teas that have more antioxidants in, and even sometimes those sparkling waters to give you a break from just drinking water all the time. And then adopting some and doing stress tamers, which that's going to be Miss Chafin's part of this when in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's go through some of the vitamins and why it's important and where to find it. We're almost done. So, and then we'll start relaxing with some of our stress tamers. So folate or folic acid helps not only with helps with the production of dopamine. So that helps with pleasure. It also helps with brain development as well. Oh, Jessica's asking if green tea is bad if you drink it all the time. I would, here's my answer on that, because green tea has a good antioxidant and you're drinking water. And it's more of a diluted form. So as long as it's, you're not, if you have a lot of sugar in, that's probably not exactly the intentions of drinking green tea, but straight up, it's not that damaging. Like you have to remember that we just talked about like reducing sugar and things like that. So if it's straight up green tea and it's a good quality of green tea, I would say that that's probably not a problem. In fact, you're probably getting a lot more antioxidants than if you're just drinking regular water. Okay, so anyways, go back to our folic acid. And you'll learn more along the way as you dive into your science classes, if you haven't already, about the importance of folic acid in development and things like that. But for now, we're just going to focus on the fact that this helps with dopamine production. And dopamine is important for more than just pleasure in the brain, but also it helps with red blood cell production, and the red blood cells carry oxygen, so you can see that it also will help with energy. So things that we can find folic acid in are leafy greens, legumes, asparagus, even eggs, sprouts, broccoli, citrus, avocados, nuts, things like that. Serotonin, which is our tryptophan, helps with mood and memory and sleep. So this is necessary for that serotonin, um, uh, you know, tryptophan type of conversion. So we find this in our poultry, so our turkey and our chicken, but we also will get it in some of our fish, spinach, nuts and seeds, and soy. Um, and even still, doing exercise also can help boost up our serotonin naturally. So we can contribute to it through our diet, but we also can just help increase it through exercise. Remember, we talked about that check and balance with those increases. Other things that you want to make sure that you're getting in your diet is vitamin D, your B vitamins, and we already talked about our omega fatty acids or omegas. Oh, here's another slide talking about our omegas. Um, our omegas are really good for brain development, especially, we talk about that. You may have heard about that for babies. But it helps with eye health, our cardiovascular health, and then also reduces inflammation, which is really important when you think about the fact that inflammation can happen just because of stress. We don't actually have to go bang our arm up against a wall to get inflammation. So the foods that we find are some of our omegas. We already talked about, mentioned like seeds and nuts, but a lot of our oily fishes, so our salmon, our cod liver, our mackerel, things like that as well. You can get those omegas. And of course, we have supplementation as well that can help out. Not everybody likes eating some of these fat, oily or uh, fish. And so you can also get it through supplementation. Antioxidants, we've already mentioned this a few times along the way about how important it is for antioxidants, which green tea actually fits under that category as well. And so we see this, it can help improve or clear out some of those free radicals just because of just that amped up or that damage that can happen. Foods that we see this, I mean, this is just a small list. Any of your fruits and vegetables will have antioxidants in it, but some of the ones that are higher in antioxidants are blueberries, berries in general, our beets, our spinach, red cabbage, goji berries, things like that. So there's a lovely grocery list for you guys, just a general one, like make sure you get lots of leafy greens. And then also, consider turkey, chicken, eggs, salmon, berries, avocados, things like that. Okay. So I am going to try to get out of here so I can turn it over to Miss Chafin. For her,
Actually, do you want to go ahead and present? Because my internet is being weird, so that's why I'm joining on my phone.
Okay, that explains everything now. I was like, who's calling in? And then I saw you kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so just let me know when you need me to switch the slide. Oh,
okay.
Where's the links that are we going to do the thing? The link?
Yeah, that's after this. Those are after this.
Just let me know and I can always go find it. I'm just going to put us back in presenter mode. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute and turn it over to Miss Chafin.
Awesome. So this is one of my favorite memes. Lavender reduces stress and me trying to reduce my stress. Not working, obviously. So if you want to move the slide. Okay. So you may have seen something like this on social media. It says, if you're reading this, release your shoulders from your ears, unclench your jaw, and remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And I saw that one time and I was like, how did they know that I was doing that? But we tend to physically hold on to stress in ways that we don't even realize that we're doing. And that's just one of the ways. So next slide, please. So I want to hear from you guys before I get started on my spiel. Do you do anything currently for stress management and self-care? And are they working? Like, have you found them effective?
I haven't had a lot of time for myself this week, it feels like, because I've been working and then doing schoolwork and then having class. So I'm still trying to incorporate it into my schedule right now. So no.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. that is common. Yeah. What about you, Jessica? Anything?
I'm trying to work out. Like every time I go to work, I want to go to workout and then go to work. So hopefully I can be distressed.
Yeah, that's
it's just hard to
way.
wake up extra early. So I'm just trying to get back into that routine thing, especially since I haven't been going there ever since I had my baby 10 months ago. So I'm
Right.
trying.
I'm right there with you. Honestly, I'm still paying for a gym membership I haven't used since COVID. So
Congratulations on your baby, Jessica. I was just gonna throw out there that through all this, I actually taught myself how to sew. And when my brain gets just too where you just can't focus on anything, I have been sewing masks, fabric masks for anybody I know. And so it's taking in, it could be something, it could be painting or drawing, but actually having an activity that can take your mind off of everything. It doesn't change like your thoughts, but it makes you refocus, and calms everything down so you can get back and you can be more productive. Or at least that's been my experience when you actually take a few minutes just to like reset your, instead of your mind, the mind's taking over you, you take over what you're doing and how you choose to think about them. So I thought I'd throw that in there.
yeah. So kind of piggybacking on what she said, you guys are talking about working out, going outside of your home to do things, but there are a lot of different things that you can do that are right there in your chair, right, to help yourself relax and manage your stress. So if you want to go to the next slide, we'll look at some of those techniques. All right, so one of the main things, big things that has helped me is breathing exercises. So that's something that you can do anywhere at any time, right? So if I'm feeling stressed out at work, or if you're feeling stressed out before a test or even during a test, breathing exercises can be done at any time. And I'm a big fan of box breathing, which we'll look at in a minute. But it just intentional deep breathing. It's the kind of breathing that when you're breathing in, you can feel your stomach rising, getting that diaphragm engaged. It can calm and regulate the autonomic nervous system. So it lowers blood pressure and it can provide an almost immediate sense of calm. You're getting more oxygen, and it's just better all around. Another thing that's really helpful is progressive muscle relaxation. So this is one of the things. So I have struggled with anxiety for most of my life. I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder when I was in college. And so I have been to therapy. I've researched a lot of different methods, you know, desperately looking for something. So these are just ones that I have found the most helpful. But progressive muscle relaxation is probably the best one for me. So she talked about, Dr. Ballantyne did, about how it affects our musculoskeletal system. Stress does. So progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR, actually helps us to tense our muscles and then relax them and reduce that tension that's caused by stress, because we don't even realize sometimes that we're tense. And it just helps make you more aware of how your physical stress may be contributing to your emotional state. One of the most helpful things that my therapist taught me was that your mind and your emotions aren't going to be relaxed if your body is tense. So if you relax your body, your mind can follow, right? That's the order that you need to go in. Yoga and meditation are two other ways that you can just release that stress and be in the moment, because a lot of stress is caused by worrying about things that aren't happening right now, right? It's something that you're worried that's going to happen in the future, maybe something you did in the past that you're stressed about, you know, but these techniques help you to focus on the here and now. You know, you're safe. What you're worrying about probably isn't happening, right? So it just helps you refocus your mind and relax your body. Another thing that is helpful is a hot bath. So I actually got a hot tub for Christmas last year to put in my backyard. And I use that thing more than we do our pool, like even in the summer. It's been a lifesaver for me. It just relaxes the heat automatically relaxes your muscles, right? And then the water and just the combination, the jets, everything is just relaxing. And then I try to put like a movie on, you know, on my phone or my iPad and just relax. So they do help, you know, a warm bath does help us sleep better, which sleep is also directly related to stress levels, and it can help relieve muscle pain. It does help us sleep better because it helps lower your core temperature, which is, you may have heard of circadian rhythms. That is a sleep signal when your core temperature lowers. So when you get out of that water, that hot water, and into the cool air, your body cools down. So for one of the things we've talked about already, exercise. So definitely exercising is part of a stress relief routine. Now, going to the gym is not the only way you can exercise, right? You can, now that the weather's nicer, just taking like a 15-minute walk around the block, you know, walk your dog, go for a walk in the park, go for a hike. Any of those things are considered exercise. You know, you don't have to be running on a treadmill or, you know, walking up a stair machine to consider something exercise. So just keep that in mind. Another technique is positive thinking. So I am a catastrophic thinker, I learned when I was going to therapy. So I always think the worst is going to happen, A, and then B, if something bad does happen, it's the worst thing in the world that has ever happened to anybody, right? So not a good frame of mind to be in if you're wanting to reduce stress. So, identify it. That's the first step. What are my irrational worst case scenarios? What is really the most likely thing that will happen? Probably not going to be the worst case scenario every time. In fact, probably very little of the time. So perspective is important. Another thing to do, especially if you're having a panic attack or if you're in the middle of a test and panicking there, is grounding. So grounding puts us back to reality. We are, when you're really stressed out, you may feel like your brain's going in all different directions, you're flailing, you're upset, and grounding brings us back down to earth. So my daughter really benefits from this. In fact, it also helps her, strangely enough, with her motion sickness in the car. So when you're feeling, panicky, try to find 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, identify 3 things you can hear, 2 smells. You might even have to reach, like I have a drink beside me. I could smell that. I can smell the room, my perfume, any of those things. And then 1 thing you can taste. So that might be my drink, my lip gloss, just something that uses our senses to bring us back to the present moment, to where we are now, and ground us in that moment instead of in our stress. Another technique is laughter, right? So sometimes even faking a laugh makes you instantly feel better, right? More positive. So, in school, nursing school, and, especially if we're stressed out and anxious, everything is so serious, right? We're so serious. We're not enjoying ourselves. We're not having fun and experiencing joy. So watch your favorite comedy, right? Watch a show or play a game with your family or with your friends that makes you laugh. Anything that will make you laugh is going to make you feel better, right? Because that's just going to improve our mood. And we are going to go to the next slide, where we're going to practice box breathing. So if you don't mind playing this video, and we're going to follow the instructions that it's going to give us. So when you're breathing, try to breathe in with your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. Is it not playing? There we go. Thank you. So, box breathing, just remember to count to 4 in between each section. So you'll breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then just repeat. And it is instant relaxation. Just make sure that you're getting those, that diaphragm involved, where your stomach is also rising and falling. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun part. This is called progressive muscle relaxation. Have you guys done this before? No? All right, so we are going to get comfortable. So sit in a comfortable position and follow the instructions you hear on the video.
During the muscle relaxation exercise, you will be asked to tense your muscles and then release. This letting go motion will help relax the muscles of your body. Muscle relaxation leads to mental calmness. So this exercise will not only relax your body, but it will also help quiet your mind. If there are any areas in your body that are prone to pain or injury, such as your neck or back, you can apply less tension, or you can leave this area out altogether. During this relaxation exercise, you may find your mind wandering into thoughts or worries, and this is normal. When this happens, try to release these thoughts and relax back to the sound of my voice and focus on the exercise. Just try to relax and follow the instructions as best as you can. So take a moment now to settle into a comfortable position. Go ahead and shift around until your body feels comfortable and at ease. When you're ready, you may close your eyes. Now through your nose, take a slow, deep breath. Hold it for a moment. And now slowly exhale. Notice that a feeling of relaxation can begin to develop as you breathe out. Take another slow, deep breath. Hold. And now let go. With every breath, you can allow yourself to become more and more relaxed. Now tense your forehead by raising your eyebrows as high as you can. As you hold this tension, notice where your forehead feels tense. And now, relax your forehead. Notice how it feels to have the muscles soften, to give way to relaxation. Let all the tension drain from your forehead. And now for your eyes and nose. Close your eyes very tightly and wrinkle your nose. Become aware of the tension in your eyes, nose, and the upper parts of your cheeks. And now, relax. Notice the discomfort fade away, replaced by a calm, relaxed feeling. And now your mouth and jaw. Put your mouth into a forced smile and clench your teeth very tightly. Your lips and cheeks and jaw should feel very tense. And now, relax those muscles. Relax your face and notice the feeling as the muscles loosen. Your teeth part slightly. Your face and jaw become more and more relaxed. And now, relax your face a little bit more. Breathe in deeply. Hold. And breathe out. Relax and let go. Now tense the muscles of the neck and shoulders by shrugging your shoulders. Try to touch your ears with your shoulders. Feel the tension in your shoulders and neck. And now let go. Feel your shoulders becoming much more comfortable. Feel the relief as tension gives way to relaxation. Now moving on to your arms. Please put your palms of your hands together and push them together. Feel the tension in your arms and shoulders. Hold this position. And now let go. Let all the tension flow out of your forearms, out of your hands. Let your hands rest comfortably on your armrests, completely at ease. Relax your hands. Relax your arms. Relax your shoulders. Now focus on your breathing and your abdominal muscles. Take a deep breath through your nose. Hold it and breathe out. Feel the sense of relief in your chest as you breathe out. Again, breathe in deeply through your nose. Hold it. Notice the feeling. And now breathe out. Now moving down your body, keeping your face, back, arms, and chest as relaxed as you can. Arch your back as though you have a pillow under the middle and lower part of your back. Draw your shoulder blades together as though you want them to touch your spine. Now hold this position and let go. Let the relaxation spread and flow deeply into the muscles of your back. With every breath, allow the relaxation to go deeper. And now for your abdomen. Tighten your abdomen by drawing your belly button backwards towards your spine, and then hold this position. And now relax. Soften your abdomen. Feel your belly becoming more and more relaxed. All the tension being replaced with relaxation. Now begin the relaxation of your hips and legs. Tighten your buttocks, hips, and legs by pressing down the heels of your feet towards the ground. Tighten all these muscles. Feel the tension in your buttocks, thighs, and calves. And now release. Feel the tension leave your buttocks, leave your thighs, and leave your calves. Let the relaxation spread deeper and deeper. Now curl your toes and tighten the muscles of your feet. Feel the tension in your feet and toes. And now release. Feel the sense of relief as the tension is replaced by relaxation. Enjoy this feeling. Feel yourself becoming heavier and heavier. Now scan your entire body. Allow your awareness to focus on each part and allow any remnants of tension to drain away. Scan your forehead. Relax and soften around your eyes and nose. Release and let go. Your mouth and your jaw. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Your whole face can relax as you continue to scan your awareness down the rest of your body. Your neck, relax and let go. Your shoulders, your arms, and now your chest. Relax and soften your belly, your buttocks, and your hips, your back, your legs, and your feet. Allow any remaining tension to flow down your body, down your feet, and out of your toes. Relax and let go. Feel yourself becoming more and more deeply relaxed. You're calm, secure, at peace.
All right. Are we sleepy now? Yeah, so that is actually one of my favorites to do before bed, as you can see why. And that's something that you can do with your, if you have children or with your family, you can do any of these things really. So here are some other tips that I have for you. So on top of the different, practices you can do, like the breathing and the progressive muscle relaxation, just taking some of these strategies as well is really going to improve your mental health. So one of the big things, so we have the little clock, the man with the clock there, time management. So if you don't have a schedule that you're following, if you don't budget your time like you budget your money, you are probably, time management is going to be a factor in your stress levels. So I do actually have a workshop on that if you are interested, because that's a whole other topic. The friends up here, the friends picture. So having a support system is a huge part of stress relief. If you're a lone wolf, if you're trying to go it alone, that's not going to work. Social isolation and loneliness, they kill. You're going to have a greater risk of poor mental health, poor cardiovascular health even, it's connected to, and other health issues. So, family, friends, classmates, all of those are important for your support system. Hobbies. So you see the guy in the boat, he's fishing, he's doing something that he enjoys to get away from the world. And, if you don't have time management, you're not scheduling these things, they're probably not going to happen, right? So that's why time management is important. So, one of the things I like to do, I like to play my guitar, I like to read, I like to do paint by sticker, right? Knitting, crafting. Some of my students have said auto repair. They like to tinker with their car. I don't know. So whatever it is that makes you happy and is something not related to school or work, make time for it. Avoid harmful substances like alcohol and caffeine, stimulants or depressants. And then sleep. Getting enough sleep is huge. So that's going to differ depending on who you are. Like, I have to have a lot of sleep. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I am worthless the next day. So just make sure you know how much sleep you need and that you're getting that much, being aware. And it's kind of a vicious cycle, right? So sleep problems can cause anxiety, and then anxiety can disrupt your sleep, right? So make sure that you're taking care of yourself in that way. And then music. See the music at the top left. So music not only relieves stress, but researchers actually found that it was more beneficial, or it was more effective, I guess, than a prescription medication for patient anxiety prior to surgery. So that was kind of a cool find. And it also improves your immune system function somehow. Dr. Ballantyne could probably tell us, but I cannot. And yeah, and just eating healthy, which we've talked about already, those foods there, the fruits, the vegetables, the greens and all that good stuff. Hydration. Yeah, it's stuff that we kind of already know, but we don't do because we don't take time and effort. And then we're stressed. All right, so I think that's all I have. The only other thing I want to leave you with is don't be afraid to ask for help. So, you know, if you are using these stress relief techniques and you find that stress and anxiety are still interfering with your life, how you function day by day, then you might want to go see a counselor, right? Or a doctor. Therapy and medication might be a good option. So just don't be afraid to reach out for help if what you're doing, if you've exhausted all other options and they're not working. Do we have anything else on here?
No, I think that's it. So,
Okay.
thanks
Well, I
for
hope that was helpful. Yeah, thanks for coming.
And then Emily has Ms. Chafin has some information she'll send to you
Yeah.
after this, so that you have a couple of some resources and things like that. So
This slide and presentation is included as well. So
yeah.
Thank you so much.
yeah, thanks for coming. I always enjoy it. This is like my favorite workshop to do.
Yeah, and if
Get
you
that.
don't, if you don't get the resources, make sure you reach out to Ms. Chafin so she can get
Yeah.
this to you if by some reason your email gets missed or whatever.
Yeah, it's echapin@arizonacollege.edu.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you. It's
Stress
nice
free.
to talk to you.